I usually do it all in my house too sometimes, so my home studio. But most of the time it's with Austin at River City Studios.
That's awesome. I've heard good
Yeah.
things about River City. I know Muse goes there. You guys are pretty close.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
How'd
We
you
work
guys
together
meet?
now and shit. I met him at the studio. So actually, he was leaving the studio, and I was going in, and I said, "Hey, what's up?" and whatnot. And but yeah, I didn't really like talk to him, just head nod type thing. And then I asked Austin, who was there at the studio. He was mixing my stuff, and I was like, "Who is that walking in or going out?" And he said I was Muse, and he showed me some of his songs, and I was like, "Oh, this dude's cool." And so I hit him up off of Twitter and asked him like if you want to come through and lay a verse on a song of mine. And turns out he lived like 2 minutes from my house, so he came right over. And then we put out Sleepy Eyes together, and the song seemed to be a pretty hit too. So I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty good, cool meeting him. That's what the studio sessions is really good for too. Like I feel like it's a missing form of artistry. Like you go there and you meet people that you never think of ever meeting. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people should go to the studio just for that reason too, just to see who they can run into the next or whatever. Make up with.
Yeah, it's a good spot to meet other artists there in Grand Rapids. I know it's a pretty popular place. Also, what how did you come up with that song? What was the inspiration behind that? I know it's kind of a sad song, but it's also got a nice kind of happy, slow vibe to it. What was the inspiration for that?
For Sleepy Eyes.
For Fantasy.
Oh, for Fantasy. Well, the song was for a girl. Obviously, it was for a girl that I was in love with. I was gonna make her my quote unquote fantasy. Sure, she was my fantasy or whatever. And it was just a girl that I guess I got friend zoned, and I was gonna show her that song, and I was gonna ask her out and stuff, but just never really seemed to happen that way. And then just never worked out. And then she's not really part of my life anymore. Kind of sad, a little bit. But
Sad, but some good song, good song quality stuff. It's too bad it happens,
Yeah,
but something good came out of it. I heard that song is one of your most popular songs too to this day.
yeah, it's still growing too, like really fast, like almost 100 streams every night.
And where can we find all your music at?
You can find it any streaming site: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, under FIGKARL, say Karl, anywhere really.
Do you have any new music coming out soon?
Yeah, I'm actually going to the studio tomorrow to record a song and then put it out hopefully by Sunday night, Monday, or whatever. And then I'm also working on an album. I just dropped 3 new songs to an EP called the Tree EP. 3 new songs that are going to be on that album too. And yeah, I want to check that out. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that on Apple Music. I was checking you out a little bit earlier, listening to some stuff. What was your favorite song off that little EP?
Oh man, Tonight probably. That one's just a vibe. Really, you just catch a vibe. I mean, all 3 of them are different type of vibes. Like I got Miller Lite on there. That's more of like a upbeat party type thing to listen to crank. And then you got Tonight. It's just a chill vibe to get you in your feelings and whatnot. And then Sad Boy is another vibe, just when you're lonely or whatever and need some help going through things. That's what that song is for. Gets better.
Sounds like you got a lot of emotion, and you got a mission with your music, which is a good thing. Not a lot of people have these days. Most music is just I don't even know. It's so based on being rich and having money and jewelry and all that, and it's nice to see a little bit of emotion in your music.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's all. It was my dream is always just to put my ideas out there and whatnot, and I want other people to be inspired by it. And I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to be inspired by those types of songs. I guess for me, like I never really listened to that growing up. I mean, I've never really listened to like that trap rap or whatever you want to call it, with like the little Zans and the little pumps coming out of here. But that's never really for me. I mean, I appreciate what they bring, but I mean, it's not for me.
another thing I was talking
Yeah.
about with Muse a few weeks ago was SoundCloud rappers get like a really bad rap because of people like Lil Xan
Oh
and Lil
yeah.
Pump coming out of SoundCloud. One of the ones that was good and he gave a kind of a good reputation for people that do post stuff on SoundCloud was Post Malone. He came off SoundCloud and he's one of the biggest artists.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of artists, like even Mac Miller. You got Russ. I mean, I don't even say Little Pump or Little Xan are necessarily bad artists. They just, I think, hit a lucky time, or they posted a song and it just blew up. Same with, I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't even know if I'm allowed to say his name on Airways. Little D out here, I think he blew up off of SoundCloud too, or even YouTube with his videos. I mean, SoundCloud definitely gets a bad rap for all the bad artists that are out there on there. But I mean, you're gonna have bad artists whether they're signed or not. I mean, just because they're on SoundCloud, it's like using all your tools that you have. I mean, you got YouTube. People don't bash people for posting music on YouTube. YouTube is basically the same as SoundCloud. You're just putting audio on. I mean, you got to use all your tools. You can't be hating people just for posting their song, trying to do what they want to do on a free site. Really.
Right, I definitely agree. I feel like just because it's free or just free service and everything, I feel like people kind of look at it and they're like, oh, it's probably just for people that aren't serious about music and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could also get into more of a psychological area too. I mean, they're just jealous or they have insecurities and stuff like that. But I don't know. I might be stretching. I don't know.
Right. Well, let's take a little musical break. We got Fig Karl with more music here tonight on Hits 96.3, the River Rap Hour, every weekday from 4 to 5. Join us for more rap hits. We're back again with more Fig Karl here on Hits 96, the River Rap Hour, live in Ludington. We're just talking off air, and Fig, you just did your first concert recently. Can you tell us about that and where it was at?
Yeah, it was East Paris Hookah Lounge. It was a little venue hosted by Shabazz, but it was really fun. I never did a concert before. I mean, I was super nervous until I, got held that mic in front of everybody and started playing my songs. Then it immediately went away, and I was like, "What? Why was I even scared in the first place?" I don't know, but yeah, that was crazy. I never had so much fun in my entire life until performing something that you've been working towards your entire life. I mean, that to me was a milestone, I guess you could say. But
when did you start pursuing music?
Pursuing? A couple of years ago, maybe 2016. I started actually taking it a little more seriously. But I've always made music my entire life. Whether it's I got into the piano, I think around third grade. Started playing the piano. Then I got into band class in fifth grade. Started playing the trumpet. Then all the way through high school, I picked up other instruments like guitar, ukulele, harmonica, just weird other instruments and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I've always made music and wrote songs. I took music theory in high school and stuff like that. Just always loved being a part of music and everything about it. So, and jazz band. I mean, I love jazz. Jazz is crazy. But,
jazz is a good.
Yeah,
it's a good genre.
What's that?
Jazz is really good. Actually, it's a bigger part of hip hop, I feel, than people think. When you're a producer, you kind of realize it because you're putting together all these pieces that are from jazz music. I mean, you can sample jazz music from the 80s or 70s, 60s, even early 40s and stuff like that. You'll put together an absolute banger if you sample that stuff.
Yeah, I got a few things in the works right now with just jazz samples too, so I can't wait for people to hear that.
And have you shot any music videos yet? Like, have you had a chance to shoot anything?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm shooting a music video for tonight, the song that you just played. I've shot a music video for No Sleep, which is a pretty popular song of mine, and I have a few other things in the works right now. I haven't had much, but yeah, I got some music videos in the works.
That's good. Have you had any big artists approach you at all?
Not really. I've had other local artists approach me. I don't really know what you would consider big artists, but I guess the biggest artists that I have are featured on my tracks already. Shabazz, Malik, Jordan, and Muse. Those are really the only few artists that locally that are popping, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I know Muse and Malik. I know those two. I listen to them quite often, actually, just on the show, off the show.
Right.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Yeah, they're crazy.
I love Muse. Muse's album. I mean, since that came out, I've just been listening to that constantly.
Yeah, Manifest is a banger. All those songs are dope. He's a really crazy, talented artist, and y'all should definitely check him out. He doesn't swear in any of his songs. That's what he really prides himself on. And every time he wants to do a feature, like we have a few features together that he hasn't put out yet. I don't know why, because he's a loser. But he's got those songs that he's like, no, you can't swear on these because this is my song, no swearing. And I was like, all right, fine. So it's a real challenge too, not to, because you just be writing and just a couple filler words like whatever, and yeah, but he's dope. Definitely check him out.
No, it's Muse. Muse is a good one. Let me show you how to manifest. That's like, I think Manifest is probably my favorite song off the album Manifest.
Yeah, mine's probably that or Die Trying.
Yeah, Die Trying, that was a good one. I think honestly all those songs were, but like I've been listening to a lot of your stuff lately too. I gotta say honestly, my favorite one is Fantasy. I can't, like, I've had that on repeat for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's really good to hear. That's a lot of people's favorite. That's why it's trending a little bit too. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What other artists are you trying to work with? Is there any in Grand Rapids that you want to work with soon?
Not from Grand Rapids. I've always wanted to work with some bigger artists, like I don't know, just like childhood people that I've listened to since I was a kid, or even just kind of been inspired by. Like my dream was to work with Mac Miller, rest in peace, but sadly that's not going to ever happen. But I mean, there's like Jack Johnson. He's always been a huge influence in my music. Jack Harlow, he's dope. You should definitely check him out. And just like other artists, like Jack Harlow's not even that big yet, but I'm gonna go see his show here in Detroit next month, and then hopefully I can meet him and work something out. He actually was gonna use one of my beats. I sent him a beat because he tweeted out something. Producer sent me beats, and I sent him a beat, and his manager hit me up, said he liked my beat, so they said they're gonna use it. I just haven't heard anything back from it for a while yet. So hopefully that'll come through soon too.
Well, that's a pretty big thing. I mean, if he's performing in Detroit, he's probably decent size. I mean, a few 100,000, maybe 1 million.
Yeah, it's got 30K.
That's pretty good. I mean, 30K on one, and then, figure more and more and more. It only grows from there, You just keep putting out music.
Yeah.
And where can we find your music and all of your information? Just give us, your social media, all of that.
Yeah, sure. You can follow me on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, Twitter, Instagram, preferably Twitter and Instagram too. At Fig Karl, FIGKARL. And that's really, you can find my music anywhere, any streaming site. That's awesome, man. Thanks for having us interview you. It was awesome talking to you, and I hope to see you again soon, Yeah, for sure. Link up again. All right, man. We'll see you later. Thank you. Yeah, bye. Next up, we got Big Karl with 44th Street here on Hits 96.3, The River Rap Hour. Every weekday from 4 to 5 with me, The Riv Kid.